Glad to have you in the sound of your city. This is 96.5 on the frequency modulated band. Of course, the program The Standpoint is taking center stage. And today in the studio with me is Comrade Friday Chimobi Obundiogo. He is a candidate for Ikwa-Anor Umuahia Federal Constituency on the platform of YPP. Glad to have you in the studio. Good morning.
Thank you. You too.
All right, so let's start off the conversation from the angle of young people. The metropolis of Umuahia and the Ikwa-Anor local government does have one of the highest deposits of young people in Abia State. As it were now, the Independent National Electoral Commission has indicated that the elections will be won because of the strength of young people. So who the young people rally behind has a great propensity to win the elections for you. Do you have that support from young people in Umuahia and Ikwa-Anor?
Of course I do. Like if you look at my flags, my posters and everything, I speak for the youth. I'm the voice of the youth. And one of the reasons why I have the support is it's not because I'm even young. It's because of what I have to deliver, what I have to give to the people. It's if you look at the lives of the youth in Abia State, it's terrible. You know, people go to school, graduate from school without having jobs. Our parents are working without getting paid. You know, doctors are not getting paid salary, pensioners are suffering. It's this, the pain and the suffering is not just based on the youth. The pain and suffering in Abia State is in general. And if you look at it, the youthful people are really, you know, are the people that this thing is really hitting. So, and that's one of the reasons why I'm really getting a lot of support from the young people, not just from the young people, from women. I'm even getting more support from women than even the youth, because if you look at basically the way life is, everything falls back at the women. The pain, the suffering falls back at the women. So the whole thing now, it's basically, I could say that I'm getting way more support from the mothers, from the women, than even the kind of support I'm getting from the youths.
Really?
Yes.
What would you attribute to that?
Look, I have a template.
Okay.
And my templates or my working plan basically has more for the women.
Okay.
Let me tell you something in life. This is a general basic things about life, right? When a man is married, right, and probably don't have a job or have a petty job, and he leaves the house without providing food or money for his wife to be able to cook, right? That woman, the mother, wouldn't care if the husband drops money for food. She will go out there and provide for the family. So women take more pains and more suffering in marriage, in families. So the kind of project I have for the women, it's when I go there and tell them what I have for them, because when you want to lead people, you need to know what their problem is. Like the way Abia State is, I don't have a business with the entire Abia State. I have a business with Ikwa-Anor, Umuahia South and Umuahia North.
Can I just stop you in your tracks?
Okay, go ahead.
Have you been able to identify what the basic needs of Ndi Umuahia, Ikwa-Anor is? Of
course, yes.
Can you share with us?
Good. In 2019, when I came in, the first thing I did was to spread around the constituents, Ikwa-Anor, Umuahia. I went, talked to people, and hear from them. Went to villages and hear from the mothers, the grandmothers in the villages. And what I really find out is, first of all, they have leadership problem. They have social amenities problem. You understand? And there are so much problems. And especially when I went to Ikwa-Anor and I looked at the way Ikwa-Anor is mapped out and the way it is, Ikwa-Anor need just a little help for them to be able to push. The population of Ikwa-Anor, 70% of them are into agriculture.
Okay.
And when you look at a community where, or a local government where 70% of people there are into agriculture, and they have everything it takes. They have the products, they have the land mass, They have rivers, they have the waters, they have a fertile land, and they are not getting any help at all from the government. Even if the House sitting member is from Ikwanno, they didn't feel any impact of that. And basically what these people need is mechanized farming. Because if you go to every house in Ikwanno, you see, if you don't see 10 bags of cocoa, you'll see 10 bags of rice. All they need is just a little push. Help them out. Introduce mechanized farming into Ikwanno. When you introduce mechanized farming into Ikwanno, Nigeria has what we call agricultural funding.
Okay.
Get them to have a cooperative society. Make the farmers have a cooperative society. Make the market women have a cooperative society. Attract funding into this cooperative society and use it. And it's just we're gonna run it like a microfinance bank. And you use this to empower the farmers, the market women. They just need a little push. Ikwanno can feed the entire country, even export their products. But the government is neglecting them. So negligence is one of the problems that we have. And two, plants has not produced an house member, and clan has not produced. If we're gonna zone 8 times for House of Representative, everybody goes
for 4 years.
4 years, yes, okay. And you give it out. That's how it has been. And this is just PDP arrangement, not an arrangement. Just basically understanding between people in the constituents.
Yeah.
So now Onibo did this 4 times because of some people's selfish interests to become a governor.
The man from the man from Nkwebu, to be precise, on Labour Party platform.
Okay, they have 3 candidates from
Oh, really?
Yes, they have 3 candidates. They have a candidate from ADC, okay, which is Obin Nawonsu. They have a candidate from APC, which is Obilo, and they have a candidate from ABGA, which is Obi Agocha from Labour Party. See, so they have 3 candidates. But do you know that one funny thing is that I have assessed all the 3 candidates from Ohoho.
Okay.
And do you know, if I will pick somebody among these 3 candidates, I'm going to pick what's his name, the guy from ADC.
Why is that?
Yes. I've had a one-on-one interaction with him, right? We had an interview. I spoke to this young man. He's sound.
Okay, during the debate?
Yes, in the debate, yes. I spoke to him. Academically, he's sound. He's a good dude. And when we spoke and we had that debate, I saw something in him this is one of the kind of people we need in Ikwanno Umuahia. You understand? He's an academist. I'm a geologist. One of the things that Abia State need right now, the constituent of Ikwanno Umuahia we need a mover, we need somebody like me as a geologist. Because why I say that is, we have a mineral resources from Umuahia South. Abia State has 6 good mineral resources from Abia. And Umuahia South happens to have one of those mineral resources. That's where I'm from. I'm from Umuahia South.
What mineral resource is that?
We have kaolin.
Okay.
And kaolin is a product that you can use in producing tiles, ceramics, chalks, papers, so many things you can produce from kaolin. And as a geologist, it's something that you don't have to teach. It's just like for me here, I cannot come to tell you how to run a radio program. This is your job. This is what you do. Yeah. That's how it is for me as a geologist. This is a product that I am familiar with, and I know what to do with it, and my people needs it. You understand? So I know how and what to do, because like I say, Ikwanno Umuahia just need a little push.
What about the issue that mineral resources belong to the federal government, and as such mining activities have to permission or license that has to go through the federal government?
Okay.
How do you intend to manage that?
I am going to be a legislator at the federal level.
Okay.
Right. In the growth of the states, we will work hand in hand with the state government. You understand? Because you cannot just come and say because you're a house member, you're taking over. And number 2, property lands belongs to the federal government. So if you have a product that the state has, right, you work hand in hand with the state government and see how you can manage the product, because kaolin right now is being extracted illegally.
Really?
Yes, it's been extracted illegally in Umuahia South. We have a Chinese company that comes from Enugu and Anambra, and they have a ceramic company and a tiling company in Anambra and Enugu, and they export our products. And we that have the product are suffering. Our youth don't have jobs. We don't have any infrastructure in our constituent. And you coming down here, extracting our products to another state. So there are so many things that needs to be fixed in Ikwa and Umuahia. One problem we have is leadership problem. If we have a good leader, somebody that knows what he's doing, somebody that understands the need of the people, then you will be able to fix the system. You get where I'm coming from?
Yes, I do.
Good. So, in the aspect of kaolin, I have a template on how I'm going to work it out. Equiano, I have a template of how I'm going to work it out, because Equiano, 70% of them does agriculture. Yeah. So I know what to do to push in for the people of Equiano. And when you do that, you're going to open up Equiano for the people of Equiano. You're going to open up the place.
So mechanized agriculture is what you're suggesting.
Exactly. That's all they need. And get the agricultural fundings for them.
So how are you going to be able to lobby for this funding? I mean, funding is paramount. He said get agricultural funding. You mentioned about putting them in cooperative society and setting up microfinance banks or partnering with microfinance banks. Is there a certain fund that is available that you intend to tap from? Or are you hoping that when you get there, you do like a research to find out what's available and what you can attract?
Okay. In Nigerian budgets, there is a specific amount allocated for agriculture. So the money is there. It's not like we're going to write a bill to get this money. No, the money is already there. You just need a leader that knows what he's doing and should be able to attract that funding. That's why, because you cannot just get the fundings. First of all, you set up this cooperative society in the name of the maybe we could say Ikwa and Umuahia Cooperative Society. Okay. We will run it like a microfinance bank. You understand? But basically, it's gonna be for farmers and for the market women to be able to empower them, for them to be able to grow their businesses. Because if you look at it this way, if you do all this for these people, someone who produced 10 bags of rice will be able to produce 100 bags of rice. So if you have 1,000 farmers that are giving you 100 bags of rice in a year, you will see that your people will be able to feed the country and also export their products. And one thing is, Equiano has the best cocoa. I don't know if you've been to Equiano or tasted Equiano's cocoa. Equiano has the best cocoa in Nigeria.
So are you looking at export or processing?
Well, look, first, like for that of cocoa, first thing they need is to have a cocoa drying plant. One of the problem they have, like you said, when you have people that you want to lead, you need to know their problem. Yeah. One of the problem that Equiano has in aspect of cocoa, Equiano need a cocoa drying plant. Because if you go to Equiano, you see them drying their cocoa on the street, on the road. Yeah. That is wrong. So if they have a drying plant, a cocoa drying plant in Equiano, their product will be processed in the right way, and they will be able to export their product, and also for local consumptions. You get it? And Equiano has a large sum of rice, the production of rice. Equiano has a very large sum of production of rice. So if you give Equiano a rice milling factory to polish their rice, process their rice, then you see you opening up the place for them. You healing families. You wiping tears off families' face. So they just need a little push.
I seem to enjoy this conversation a whole lot. And I love the passion to which you speak with. But here is a concern of mine. Is this your first? You mentioned something about 2019 when you came down, but this seems like your first sojourn into politics, right?
Yes, of course. This is my first time. Yes.
And someone would say, with such gust and energy that you've exuded on this program, would you be able to play the politics at a big stage? Because some persons have intimated me that it requires a lot of lobbying to be able to, fit into the national level. A certain federal house member was only able to attract the job of the reconstruction of the Umai Kotek route towards the tail end of his administration after, spending a lot of years at the House of Representatives. And yes, we understand the fact that the second Niger bridge that was talked about for such a long time only came towards the tail end of this current administration. So, lofty ideas that you've put forward, but then it requires a lot of guts, zest, and lobbying to get set of things done. How do you intend to play around that?
Okay. First, identify the problem of the people, right?
Yeah.
When you identify the problem of the people, then you know what to do. For you, for an House of Representative member, you have the capacity, or let me put it this way, you have the power to do some certain things, right? Now, I'm a businessman.
Okay.
I'm an international businessman. I don't need federal government money to attract some development into my constituents.
But then you need the federal government's approval for some of these
Of
people
course.
to come and function in.
Getting an approval, right? It's not a big deal to get an approval. Like if I'm bringing a company from, like when we talk about rice, I already have a plan. When I say I have a template, talking about rice, I'm talking to companies in Brazil right now, right? And trying to strike a deal to come and manage and also be able to install a rice milling plant for my people, the good people of Ikwanomwaya. They need a rice milling plant, and I'm already in process of discussing this. Okay, so if you get a company right now, right? If I get a company, we seal a deal. The first thing you do is to see the traditional rulers of that constituent and say, look, this is what we are bringing in. This is it. You cannot just bump into a constituent because you are the House of Rep member. The grassroots needs to be carried along.
Okay.
You meet with the traditional rulers and tell them the good news. This is what we are going to do. This is how we're going to do it. Then they'll say, okay, from there you move straight to the local government, from the local government to the state government. You start stage by stage to the state government, then from the state government to the federal government, and get all this. You have to have a license. You have to, they have to do verification, background checks of these companies and everything. Then we are going to sign a contract with these people. Then we are going to have expatriates, lawyers that are going to look into the contract and make sure the contract benefits the good people, because whatever you're doing, if it doesn't protect the interest of the people, then you making a shady deal. So you need to do all this. So for me, I already know what to do. So I'm not going to wait. Like somebody was asking me the other day on the radio that, before you start anything, are you going to wait for you to be able to? I said, no, there are what we call constituency project funds that is already available. We have community project fund that is already there. So you don't need to start going to lobby for this and lobby for that. Like the sitting House of Rep member right now, he sponsored a bill, right, for this bill. He sponsored climate change bill.
Yeah.
Okay. He has his people suffering and dying in Ekwano. Your problem is not an international problem or Nigerian problem. You fix the problem of your constituents. That is where and what your responsibility is. Fine, you could push for other bills. Why didn't you push for other bills that will improve life and improve lives for the good people of Ekwano? You say, well, he's been there for 8 years, and you cannot point out and say, this is an achievement this man made for 8 good years. Now, that is what is biting him and killing him right now. He's running for Senate. But how can you campaign? Like if you're running for Senate now, you said, okay, this is what I did for my people. This is what I did for my people. This, you should have something to campaign with. They gave you 8 years. So if you hear the YPP senatorial candidate speaking, the person of Chukwuwachuku, When he's speaking, he will tell you, when I was the NDE this, I did this. When I was the NDE this, I did this. I made this employment. I did this. You know, when you have attained a federal position, you should be able to proudly and say, this is what I achieved. So when you don't have an achievement, then what do you want to tell the people?
Well, you've mentioned certain people who it seems like you admire from a distance. You mentioned very succinctly that you love Obinna Nwosu, right? A young person. I wonder if that vibe is as a result of the fact that he's a young person like you, or the fact that the other candidates are much older. But then that's not what I want to go into now. If you had a chance, to let one man go and say you were brought to a consensus table to agree on a particular person, representing Equiano Umuahia, would you rally behind that one person? And what's the possibility of you mentioning that person on this program?
Okay, see, let me say something right. I've assessed the whole candidates. I could mention their name and I could tell you everything about these candidates, right? I will start from the PDP candidates, a person of Right Honorable Chinedu Orji. He is the Speaker of the House, sitting Speaker of the House. It's 17 local governments. Under his watch, salaries are not getting paid. Under his watch, pensioners are not getting paid. Under his watch, doctors are not getting paid. Under his watch, we are losing our license as a Speaker of the House. You have the power to summon the governor of the states. You are in charge of 17 local governments, same way as the governor. So you have the power to summon the governor and ask him, Mr. Governor, I'm giving you, because first of all, federal government released all those funds. So these funds are not hidden. Federal government released all those funds. So you have the power as a sitting Speaker of the House and call the governor and say, Governor, we are giving you, first of all, tell us why are you not paying these people? Why are you holding teachers? Why are you holding this? Then you give him 48 hours, say, I need you to clear all this or we're going to impeach you. Because he has the power to bring his people, the House of Assembly members, and impeach the governor. So it is two things. You see that the Speaker of the House doesn't know his job as a Speaker, or he is part of the conspiracy. So we put that aside. You move to the other candidates. Let me look at Obinna Nwosu. I've had opportunity to interact with this young man, right? And he's an educationalist. He talks more, his academics aspect of him is very, very sound, right? Okay. But what Equiano Umuahia need now is somebody that is a mover, that has the kind of spirit I have, a progressive. Now, you cannot bring an educationalist to come and head a mineral resources because he wouldn't know what to do with it. It doesn't mean that he cannot lead, but he wouldn't know what to do with it. So that I have an advantage and an edge over him. Then secondly, I am a businessman. I have business connection around the world. If you look at Equiano Umuahia, we are agricultural wise, 70% of people in Equiano are into agriculture. I have contact abroad. I live overseas. I live in the United States of America. So I have that contact. I have that contact, which I can use to attract things for my people, the good people of Equiano. So I have an edge over that. If you look at the ABGA candidates, the ABGA candidate is a retiree from United States. We don't need people who, when you retire, we expect you to lay back and enjoy your pension. You understand what I'm saying? You don't go work 40 years in a foreign country and you want to come to Nigeria and say that you want to come and be a house member. You don't have that chance. We need people that...
let's not just go about dissecting people on the program.
Okay.
Basically, what you're saying is you feel you stand tall above the other candidates
of
for the same
Of course. And I'm not somebody who will come on radio on air to criticize people. Like you see, when I spoke about Obinna Nwosu, I never criticize him. I told you that man is good. Academically, he is sound. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm saying that this job right now is not what he could handle, because, and I gave you reasons why he wouldn't be able to handle it, but he's a good candidate because I spoke with him. Now, we had an interview. Everybody was invited. The entire candidates were invited to this interview. But people that didn't come are people that don't have nothing to say. So you don't have a template for your people.
How do you feel like that? I mean, as your parting words, because I have to speak with a person now.
Okay.
As your parting words, how do you feel about that interview where the other candidates didn't show up?
It's worrisome. It's very worrisome, because if you in advanced country, for you to lead people, you have to be able to address the people, answer questions from the people, tell them what you have for them, tell them what you need to do, you want to do for them, not campaign promises. You bring things that are doable. You understand what I'm saying? You try it out and people let them assess you.
All right. Thank you very much. This is the voice of the youths, Comrade Friday Chimaobi Obundiogo. He is vying for the position. He's a candidate for Ikwa-North Umuahia Federal Constituency on the platform of the YPP. Thank you very much for coming on the program today.
Yeah, thank you very much.
It's so much energy that you've put out there, and just can't imagine you on the floor of the house, speaking with such zest and guts. And all I can say is good luck to you and more grease to your elbows.
Thank you so much.
YPP, service to the people. Service to the people, a fresh start for Abia. Oh yes, Ohaneze ndị ọma na-ege ntị, ngwanụ ka anyị tinyere nwanne anyị nwoke FC Obundiogo for Federal House of Representatives, Ikwa-North Umuahia Abuja, nwoke eji eje mba. In fact, a man that is endowed with a lot of outstanding qualities: education, honor ya; youth and women empowerment, honor ya; community development, honor ya; infrastructure and industrial development, honor ya; health, sports and security, nwanne honor ya. Ngwa ka ewere ọsọ dị ije baba kpọmkwem na YPP ebe siri ọnụ ụzọ oghere oge. Vote FC Obundiogo for Ikwa-North Umuahia Federal House of Reps, Abuja.
Make you paint your house with Sackloss. The beauty go last year because Sackloss.
My guy, which kind paint I fit use wey go make my house go well?
Na Sackloss paint.
Paint wey go make my house shine.
Sackloss paint.
What about paint wey go last for plenty years?
Na still Sackloss paint. Sackloss paint na ogbonge paint wey don win both national and international award on top paint matters.
Abeg, where dem dey?
Dem dey nationwide. Sackloss paint get one ogbonge wey dem call Sackloss satin paint. If dirty touch the paint, you fit use water and soap take clean and cha-cha. Sackloss paint get other ones like emulsion paint, test coat, gloss, sack flash car paint, matte, industrial marine coating, red oxide primer, aluminium, screening paint, auto varnish, and other barbarous products. For that correct beauty paint wey you need, na Sackloss paint. Their price na shipping. For more information, call 070 30 90 4125.
bụ Adukwaro Ada Chineke kechara chọmma ma kwadokwa ya n'ụzọ zuru oke maka ịnọchite anya anyị ka anyị sonyere ada anyị tozuru etozu gozuo agụzụ ma werekwa egwu Chineke na-eme ihe niile ka Abia North wee gbuzuo ma chake tụnyere ma kwado Barrister Dr. Mrs. Carol Odiko Okorafor maka ọkwa sineti nke Abia North ka ihe niile were meziere anyị magaba n'iru ka anyị kwado nne dị ọgọzụ oke amụkwu n'Igbo ji eme ọnụ ichebeko
Well, the People's Democratic Party presidential candidate has promised to set aside funds to empower youths and women. He's also insisting on reopening the land borders if elected as president. Well, one thing he has kept silent on is the fuel scarcity and also the issue of the new design. One may also believe that the reason why that is so is probably because he's not the man at the helm of affairs. But a lot of people will want to know what he thinks about, some of these pertinent issues. Well, just to inform you that the candidate of the People's Democratic Party presidential elections will be in Umuahia tomorrow. To bring us up to speed with the arrangements for that event tomorrow is none other than a strong mobilizer for the Atiku Okowa campaign. He is a very what's the word I'm looking for now to describe him? I mean, there's a lot that comes to mind about his personality, but then it's just better to put him as simply phenomenal. Honorable Ifeanyi is right here in the studio. Good morning to you.
A pleasure.
All right, so where are we with the arrangements for the event tomorrow? I had Megwara bring us up to speed a couple of days ago, and then he had insisted that everyone, all hands are on deck, including the state apparatus. Can you confirm that?
Okay, thank you so much for having me, TC. I appreciate it. Like I said, this is one of the best places I like to be. Last time it was marvelous. Before I get to that, just a right of rejoinder.
Yeah.
Your guests.
Yeah.
I listen to him from outside. Frankly speaking, it's not my responsibility to join issues with him now. But I want to pick out when he mentioned the Speaker of the Assembly, his capacity not to...
They're both candidates for the same election.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'd rather we don't even go...
No, I know, but I just want to assure him that Ikwan Umuahia is safe for PDP.
Okay.
And he compared one of his folks living abroad, not coming back. All those things are all gimmicks. After the elections, the number of votes that Engineer Chinedu Umoji will garner will be historic. The same way.
Well, are you speaking for Chinedu Umoji?
I'm speaking as a party faithful that I just had. Yeah, I'm coming back. I just had somebody talk about my party not winning Ikwan Umuahia. I said that's complete hallucination.
What's the certainty that your party will win
it's amazing.
All the elections?
The candidature of Engineer Chinedu Umoji is exceptional. Go on the streets. You just not on radio.
But a lot of people do not think about the same thing when it comes to Atiku Abubakar.
Atiku Abubakar is the unifier.
Yes, you have said that.
We're not going to risk a Tinubu. You've seen the comic.
And you're not afraid of the possibility of an Obi-Dati springing up surprises?
Frankly speaking, Obi is a third force in this arrangement. He will get the votes, but it will not be proportional to what Atiku will get. I don't want to give you statistics, but we're making progress.
Okay.
Right now, if you go to the Northwest, we're going to have all the states in the Northwest. We're going to have all the states in the Northeast. I'm telling you statistics. It takes more than the sentimentality to become Nigeria's president. Okay. And then people are writing on the fact that you have 21 governors of APC and all that. These are jokes. Go back to 2015. PDP had more governors. But the Buhari came. Why? There was an issue of insecurity. So Nigerians thought PDP wasn't doing well in security. They had to give APC a chance. Now, we've graduated. We've metamorphosed from insecurity to massive corruption, to instability, to disintegration. Much, much more than what PDP saw. It was only one pointer, insecurity. Yeah. Nigeria said, look, we're not going to take this chance. Then we had more governors than you can imagine. But it didn't matter. So anybody talking about statistics about 21 states and all that, these are not, they don't work that way. Atiku has remained consistent. He is mentally stable. His health is strong. He's agile. He's compassionate. He's been very, very understanding, not throwing jabs. You can hear your bula bula. You're here everywhere. When APC presidential candidate goes to anywhere, he talks about people. He can't be stable. He's not even coherent. Yes, I sympathize with him because he can't foot it. For us tomorrow, we are ready to welcome Waziri. And I want you to come and see what will happen in Umuahia Township Stadium tomorrow.
Will the PDP governorship candidate be at that event?
Of course.
Will the governor of Abia State be at that event?
I'm not speaking for the governor. It's his prerogative.
But you were certain that the PDP governorship candidate will be there.
That's what I said because I've been told.
Okay, so
I've not interacted with the governor lately today or called him whether he come, but he might. But even if he doesn't come, whatever. But I'm telling you that
Wouldn't it be a misnomer that the governor of the state, who is a member of the People's Democratic Party, who is vying for position, the candidacy of the Senate, on the same platform, will not be there? Wouldn't it be a show of force to have the governor, hand in arm with the presidential candidate and former vice president?
This is speculative.
Well, if you say so.
Until tomorrow.
But as someone who is assuring me that
I got that information. So until tomorrow, you will now see those who will be at the event.
So you're not
after the event, when I come back, you cannot ask me questions why those who didn't make it couldn't make it. So I'm not going to just oppose that. That's preemptive. So let tomorrow come.
I thought this should have been priority for the whole of the PDP.
No, for us, I said the party is prepared.
Because the PDP has been preaching 5 over 5.
Yes, the party is prepared. All arrangements has been made security-wise. We've mobilized very well. We've kept everything. The stadium is getting ready now. People have been mobilized from all the local governments to come. All the party candidates are going to be there. Those who are carrying PDP flags are going to be there. Those flag bearers. And I said, you singled out the governor. I know why you singled out the governor.
Yes, it's a part of the G5.
No, yes.
Because I hear that IU is going to be there.
I want you to listen, sir.
Yes, I
now,
can hear you.
the G5 arrangement is not what we're considering tomorrow. The governor has invested so much in PDP.
Has he?
Yes, over the years. And I doubt whether he will let that crumble. I doubt it. They could have their, after a long time, we've still pulled together. I think we're still moving, campaigning, doing well. And we're not talking about G5 governors. Nobody's talking about them. The governor is my leader in the state. He's the leader of my party. And I said, he owes that opinion to take a position. But that doesn't take away the shine that PDP is Abia. Abia is PDP. And we're going to give a massive reception to Waziri tomorrow. That's what is important because the members of the party are ready. All the candidates are ready. Remember, Ochendo has been appointed Chairman Southeast Presidential Campaign for Atiku. And he's mobilizing. You know who Ochendo is. He's mobilizing. Look at the seamlessness of how the change of candidate took place. Does that look like a G5 arrangement? Like you're saying that G5, but you saw we lost our governorship candidate. You saw how clinical, how fast it was for the national PDP to synchronize with our PDP to get a new candidate. Did you see any bottleneck? So don't look at the pictures you're seeing on our side. We are telling you that tomorrow we want to call on all PDP faithfuls to come out in mass to receive Waziri and hear him speak to our people. And we are very sure that Atiku will win. And we're very sure that we'll keep up a good fight. We're not talking about candidates. We don't want to castigate. Tinubu can talk about us. I respect Obi is my brother, but I'm a party man, and I'm sure that in terms of the quality, the content, the acceptability, the spread, that Atiku will win. I'm very convinced, statistically.
On a scale of 1 to 100.
Atiku's chances, frankly speaking, to be very modest, above average, because I have 3 frontliners.
Yeah.
So if you share it into 100, let's say you have 100, okay? They can have 25. Atiku will get half of the cake. Experience, contact, integrity, and then acceptability. I want to mention all of them. Peter Obi said Atiku is his leader. He went through the mentorship. If he had gotten PDP ticket, he would be with us. That's all. That's the difference. Alignment and realignment. When you cruise your car, the car goes over alignment. You align it. Peter Obi just making an alignment. He was part of us.
Though, did you see him coming out with this kind of force that he does have now? You call him the third force.
Frankly speaking, he's benefiting from the streets upsurge of people's anger against APC. What we suffered in 2015, PDP suffered that. But there was no Peter Obi to mop up that sentiment then. It was between us and Buhari took it. Now he's there. But we have another big force in Atiku. Just look at the scenario. Then it was PDP versus Buhari.
Yeah.
And Nigerians were like, we had security issues, PDP wasn't doing well. Let's look at Buhari. That's what gave them the chance. Outside the fact that we had majority, but in the Senate, the governors, they didn't bother. That force is what Nigerians are showing now against APC. So my brother Peter Obi is creeping into that sentiment of the people. But would that be a two-way traffic? No, it's not a three-way traffic. And it's, I don't want to go personal, but I can assure you that in Castina, PDP will win. I can assure you, the president states. You saw what happened when he went there. He can't talk to his people. People are protesting. Half of those in North Central, Northwest, Northeast are all farmers. They can't go to farms.
All right.
It's not about security. 100 billion was found in custody of one of their aides in APC. Lions have swallowed billions. Snake has swallowed billions. People, your safety is not even about safety. Everything is down.
We are practically out of time, but I've got one more question.
Yeah, sure.
And that question is, can you give me an overview in 1 minute of what happens tomorrow?
It's going to be fabulous. It's going to be electric. It's going to be amazing. And it will shut down those sentimentalities of G10 and G20, whether Abia is PDP or not. The governorship candidate will be having the opportunity of collecting the flag from the national chairman. Symbolic.
That didn't happen with Ikunne.
I mean, the scenario then was different.
Okay.
We had problems in the house, but now the pictures are looking better. Go to social media, see the acceptability, the new change. Why? Modus operandi. People now feel they were carried along more in the production of Ahiwe than it was for Ikunne. That's the party feeling. Like they feel more, wow, we're part of it. Because Okezie came down.
That allows you to
the governor came down, spoke to leaders, Ochendu, Senator Mau, all the leaders came together and took this position. That's why Silver is calm. It's calm. It was done under the auspices of a good arrangement. Everybody who is anybody in Abia PDP was part of this arrangement, including myself. I hadn't spoken on radio for a long time because I had issues. But now I can say I'm part of it because I feel carried along. A whole lot of folks also feel the same way.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Come and see what's happened tomorrow. Frankly, it's going to be electric. Watch your pictures, watch everywhere. And those who are feeling that we are not having issues or having issues, they'll be disappointed. They will be disappointed. So wait for our new president, Waziri, tomorrow. Omaya will see all our party members, faithful, to please troop out the mass and give our incoming president a massive reception.
Standpoint, that's the much we can take on the program today. It's been a bumper package, and of course, it's the last edition for the week. The next work week will be on Monday. Hopefully, with all things being equal, we'll sort that out and be here.